I gave them all the authority to do all they're supposed to do. I thank them for what they did, but the areas where I'm also disappointed. Because instead of recognizing that UPC is at a position to make a difference in Uganda, some of my cabinet members spent more time quarreling with one another, fighting with one another. We are trying to deliver a message of hope for Ugandans, but we have too much time to quarrel with one another. Honestly, do we know where we are, what we're doing? The country is looking for hope. The country is looking for direction. UPC, some of our leaders want to tear ourselves apart. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're here for this election to give direction, to give hope, to bring change. I want to make it clear now, in view of what is taking place and the threat to the future of UPC, I am not in the back seat. I am taking full charge of the affairs here in Uganda headquarters, Uganda House headquarters, and I will be assigning specifically duties to the members of cabinet as we move ahead to try and redeem this party. In part of the preparation, I have had a conversation with my Secretary General, and we have agreed to part ways or to move in different directions as we head towards the 2026 election. In the same vein, under the authority of the Constitution of UPC, I appointed the members of Uganda of the Party Electoral Commission. The Party Electoral Commission processes candidates for members of parliament, district chairpersons, councillors, and below. Note, from members of parliament, district chairpersons, and below. That is the role of the Party Electoral Commission appointed by myself. But I did an innovation in that I asked the names to come through the National Council. After those names came through the National Council, I appointed those members of the National Council, including its chair, Haji Kezimraine. I have, as of yesterday, revoked my trust and confidence in 3 members of the Commission. That is Commissioner Jack Kabusi, Magero Were, and Naomi Natukunda. I have relieved them immediately from the Party Electoral Commission for overstepping their mark. You have a role of delivering or processing party candidates for the general elections. You are now talking about things which don't concern you. Sorry, step aside, the party is going to move again. This one now, I want to address the President of the Republic. In 2026, I have been prepared to give an honest account of the history, developmental history of Uganda, the role of Milton Obote and UPC in this development, honestly, clearly, and concisely. But the games and the hurdles which are being put, law firms closely associated with the presidency or families of the presidency, playing games and manipulating court processes, please, Mr. President, let the people of Uganda have an honest conversation. And as a taste of what is to come, recently I saw on the Twitter handle of the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Health a clip from the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, and I'm glad they're here. And the narration was at the opening of the Busolwe Hospital, that this hospital was built in 1986 by NRM. Honestly, you people, can you not lie? At least be shameful. Busolwe was one of the 24 hospitals. Originally, it was supposed to be 19 hospitals. It became 21 hospitals. And then in the end, at the point of building the hospitals, they became 24 hospitals. In Parliament, they became known as the Bote hospitals. When Dr. Malinga, as Minister of Health, came and asked for a loan to rehabilitate these 24 hospitals. I spoke on that matter on the floor of Parliament. We passed it. When it came to the execution of work, instead of rehabilitating 24 hospitals, they had rehabilitated 11. We went back and borrowed more money to rehabilitate the next hospital. We went and borrowed. Now, for this particular hospital, they are saying the cost is $20 million. How much did it cost to build those hospitals? And did you understand the basis under which it was built? I look at 2026 as a competition. We're going to be competing. But we're not in the same race. The race I am in as Jimmy Akena is built or laid in the foundation which was done by our forefathers. They envisaged back in 1966 that they are going to expand the hospital beds available per capita by 78%. If we're to expand the hospital beds per capita today by 78%, that is well over 700 hospitals of a similar size. So while you are failing to rehabilitate 24 hospitals built in the 60s, the target, if you say you want to compete with Milton Obote with the tools available to you today, is that you must build 700 hospitals, and that is a challenge which Jimmy Akena is ready for come 2026 and ahead. The data is there, the history is there. But one thing which this government has failed to understand is that everything begins with the people. When they built the hospital, they started with a human element, building a human resource. And the policy was the best brains for the jobs to serve the people of Uganda, irrespective of their political parties, irrespective of what they do. I am proud to be here in a Team Uganda jersey because for me, Uganda is everything. And we do work for Uganda irrespective, we don't care. These hospitals have been treating Uganda for the last 50 years. You can't even rehabilitate them. You can't even do it fairly, and you can't even be honest and give credit where credit is due. That is the campaign I want for 2026. Campaign on issues. Can I present a bankable, feasible program which can actually provide health services to the people of Uganda? I've just used Busolwe Hospital as one example. But I am ready to have the honest conversation as to where Uganda is supposed to go in 2026. So the hurdle is stop Akena. You know, the two-term limit was introduced in America after the presidency of Franklin Roosevelt, who served 4 terms. And the fear in America is that when a government is there for long, they have the ability to appoint all key officers, especially the judiciary. The fight in the US is always about the judiciary. In Uganda, we know that the Chief Justice is due to resign, or maybe due to retire because of his age. In another country, in other democracies, people will be fighting to be the ones to appoint the next Chief Justice. Hence, that is where the 2-term limit came about. Now, you put it in the context of Uganda. How many Chief Justices has President Museveni appointed? How many? Deputy Chief Justices. Is there any justice on the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, High Court, even Magistrates Court who has not been appointed by Museveni? The 2-term limit was to mitigate, to restrict, not to give too much dominance. Now I am competing against a man who has appointed every single judicial officer in Uganda, everyone. Yet, on a national level, 2005, that 2 terms was removed. 2 terms was removed. To borrow an analogy from sports, those who are old enough will remember that there used to be a 4-step rule for goalkeepers in football. That if the goalkeeper holds the ball, he can only take 4 steps, and he either has to pass it or put it down or do whatever it is. Now, Jimmy Akena is being penalized, given a red card. Not just a penalty, a red card in 2005 for taking the 5th step because he's prepared to make the shot. I'm in the 6-yard box. And those who may not know, I am in the 6-yard box. Now you want to give me a red card for something which does not exist in the national laws of Uganda? You who has presided over for how many terms? It's possibly because I am looking at how can we provide hospitals, how can we provide education for the people of Uganda, while somebody in your home is looking about how he can kill more people. He has been tweeting, I want to not kill. I don't want to kill anybody. I want people to have life. I want Ugandans to have life. So, Mr. President, please, let's have a fair contest. Let's have an honest, fair contest. Let the people of Uganda decide. Let them hear what we have to say. These games, through an EC, through all these tricks, let's put them aside. I am now preparing to meet the delegates, the owners of the Uganda People's Congress. We're going to discuss and find a way forward for what a judicial officer has tried to do to harm UPC. But the dream will not die. The dream cannot die. And I don't like this issue of judicial officers hiding behind this issue of judicial review, where we don't look at the merits, we don't look at whatever, but the chaos which you cause in institutions after you do what you do. There's a train of thought in the Commonwealth, especially Australia and New Zealand, who have a lot of disdain for judicial review in organizations that are live and have members. It doesn't cater for their needs. But fortunately, I have the power and I have called the Delegates Conference. I am asking through the President that all institutions, let the UPC organize themselves. We're going to meet in the 2026 election, and this is going to be a policy debate. I am not insinuating. I'm saying in plain English. First, we have an amendment of the Political Parties and Organizations Act, where the President is the chairman of IPOD. I have been a pillar on IPOD. One phone call, I will go. I'm on record that even if it's a cup of tea, I will go. I wrote on the 2nd of April to the Minister of Justice, also Electoral Commission, to have a meeting on the roadmap. We have been promised a summit on IPOD. We have a letter from the Minister of Justice stopping funding, which affected our programs as we head towards these 2026 elections. And the President has expressed it in very clear terms. He does not want me on the ballot. So yes, I am not insinuating, I'm making it very direct. Mr. President, let's have a free and fair election. I don't have guns, I don't have what, I only have ideas. I have history and performance, which has been demonstrated. That's all I bring to the race. The knowledge, the history. And please, let's just have an honest conversation as Ugandans. Win or lose, I'm Team Uganda. That's what it's about. That's what competition is about. In sports, we do competition. We go agree on the rules. You don't enforce an outdated rule and say, now you're going to enforce this one 2-term limit. For what? What are you saving? So, yes, I'm not insinuating. I'm making it perfectly clear. I am contesting against President Museveni, and I do not appreciate some of what is happening, which is in his direct control. So it is clear, definitely, we shall process applications from party members for candidature for members of parliament, district council, local council 5 chairmanship, local council 3 chairmanship, local council 2 chairmanship, local council 1 chairmanship, and council members from 5, 3, 2, 1, provided that the Party Electoral Commission shall consult with the relevant party organs, committees, or on any application or candidates for parliamentary and local council elections. Their role, you are to process candidates for parliament, local government 5, right? That is their role. Why are you talking about a president? Who appointed you to process a president? Constitution didn't appoint you. Now, communication between institutions, communication between the Uganda People's Congress and the Independent Electoral Commission of Byamukama, headed by Byamukama, is in writing through designated officers. And that's why I'm raising my issue. I wrote on 2nd April. Right? Now, somebody who is not even involved is writing letters against this institution. I'm heading an institution. The best I can do, and which I plan to do, is that you say, no, you don't want Akena to run. Okay, I am taking this institution back to its owners, which is the delegates conference. Now you're going to hear people screaming, no, they're going to even, you'll find those trying to block the delegates conference. Why don't you want to speak to the owners of the party? I want to speak to the people of Uganda about the future of Uganda. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for special favors. I want to speak to the people of Uganda about their future, about our country, my country. I'm not begging you, I'm not what. This is my right. The people of Uganda will have an opportunity to decide. And when they decide, that's the decision is final. All of us who are in politics should be for the interest of people of Uganda. Now, if UPC comes with a great idea, I'll support it. If NRM comes with a great idea, I'll support it. If it works for the people of Uganda. Now, this is the time where we're marketing ideas. This is the time where we're sharing dreams, visions of where Uganda should be, what Uganda could be. You want to put hurdles on Jimmy Akena? On a law which in Uganda does not have, 2005 it was removed for the president to stand. The next one, we removed the age limit for the president to stand. But in UPC, no! Akena must not be there. I've told these people, Akena is coming. What you're going to manage to do, if you even succeed, but I'm not going to let you succeed, you're only going to be able to strip my uniform. You're only going to be able to strip my uniform. You're not going to remove my passion. You're not going to remove my ideals. You're not going to remove the ideas which I am going to market. I am going to bombard this country with positive ideas of where Uganda can be. I will do it. Whatever road you tie, I am going to move ahead, and Ugandans are going to hear that there is a possibility, there's a dream, there's a chance where Uganda can actually work for the people of Uganda, not for a small clique. That's the truth which is going to happen. You may try to block it, you may try to do whatever, it is not going to be blocked. This is an idea. This idea cannot be buried in the ground, cannot be buried in a grave, cannot be locked in jail. It cannot. It's an idea which time has come that the people of Uganda deserve better, and they're going to get better. I say all this for God and my country, so help me God.